Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Calderone. It's another edition of Coach's Corner here on UAlbanySports.com. Once again, joined by the head coach of the baseball team, John Bam Bam Mueller. John, how's it going, sir?
Going well, Joe. Thanks for having me.
You know what? And I just want to say this. I am honored that because you fancy this segment so much that you would go and cancel your Central Connecticut game to do this for me.
I don't know if that's 100% accurate, Joe, but
Well, it makes me feel better when I say it that
we've
way.
had some wet weather, as has been the case much this spring. So, unfortunately, we canceled today, and we'll look forward to Iona tomorrow.
We were just talking about this. You guys you played 25, and we talked about this when we tracked you down at the baseball field outdoors about 2 weeks ago. It's got to be, you guys take it as it comes, but it's got to be taxing. 25 straight on the road. Now what was it we were talking about? 30 of your first 35 games on the road. Does that wear on you a little bit, or is it just, it's par for the course?
Well, I think this year it's been a little bit more than par for the course. I think that the travel, I think, is something that kind of adds up a little bit, especially for some of the guys that are nicked up, whether if it's backs or hamstrings. Some of those things I think can add up, but we try to limit those conversations with the guys. I think that we have about 40% of the season left. We have half of our conference schedule still to play, and a lot of things have already happened in the conference that people weren't expecting, and we can certainly make a strong run in the next 4 weeks going to the conference tournament.
Man, let's talk about this past weekend, which is why not being able to play today's got to bug you just a little bit, because you got some momentum coming out of that 4-game split against Marist, who happens to be second in the MAC conference right now. You split down to Poughkeepsie 1-1, came back home, split here. What did you like that you saw out of that series?
Well, I think the biggest thing we're trying to do is we're revamping the offense a little bit, moving some guys around. We're able to get a lot of guys in there to get them some experience. I think at one time we had 7 freshmen and sophomores on the field out of 9. We got a good, solid outing out of Brendan Smith. There was a number of guys that contributed, which was great. Some guys came back. Angelo Spedafino came back. He was good. Hunter Torres, Dom. There was a lot of good things that came out of that. The unfortunate thing was if we had played clean baseball for 4 games, we might be looking at a 4-game winning streak instead of 2. But, Marist is a good team. We beat a real good kid on Sunday. There's a number of scouts there to see him, and our number 1 guy didn't even pitch this weekend. He was sick. So, we have a lot of good things going on. We have UMBC coming in this weekend, a tune-up tomorrow at UMBC, and really looking forward to UMBC. That was a series early in the year that we thought we had control of that first game and let it slip away, and looking forward to playing them this weekend at home.
Yeah, despite the way things have been going early on, there's a couple of guys, and I know you've got a roster full of good baseball players, but 2 guys in particular that I just wanted to highlight, get your take on what they're doing so far this season. Kevin Donati, top 6 in batting in the American East. He's hitting .345.
Kevin Donati's a special player. He comes to work every day. He's like no other guy that's out there every day fighting ailments, but he's been absolutely tremendous. He's an explosive kid. He runs real well. He's got great power for a kid. His 165-pound kid, he's got tremendous power. And he's really become a leader. We've had a number of the older guys who were really banged up, and some of the seniors we were hoping to, be further along aren't able to do that, some of them physically. So, the younger guys have stepped up, and he's a sophomore, but he's played every game since he's been here, and a real leader. So we're really happy for him. And, there's some other guys that are starting to get going. Pat LaGraveny's had a nice weekend. Connor Powers has been very good. Evan's been catching almost every inning. So, but the pitching, if we can get that 4th guy into that spot and maybe a 5th guy, if we're not able to come all the way back and get the 1 or 2 seed and we're going to settle into 3 through 6, we need to make sure we have that 4th and 5th guy ready for a 4-game winning streak in the tournament.
I'm glad you mentioned the pitching, Jack McClure. I don't know if you're going to call him your ace, but from what I've seen, he looks like that ace, at least for now. Only guy in the American East statistically unbeaten in the top 10. He's 2nd in ERA. He's 3-0 on the season. You got to be obviously happy with what you've seen out of him so far and the appearances that he's had.
We're thrilled with Jack. We brought him along slowly this spring, and I think there's probably a couple games where he probably could have won either one of them. He could probably be 5-0, maybe even 6-0 if we were able to kind of finish off some of those games. But he's been a real horse for us this year. We like the mix-up with him, and then following with Brendan Smith, another guy. And then, Kenny McLean, JT Genovese's made some strides. So we have some guys that can slide into that. And, Ray Weber's made some progress out of the bullpen freshman. He's had 3 good appearances in a row. You couple him with Hunter, who's, he's pitching with a torn labrum all year in his hip. And Dom Savino, obviously, we want Dom to get a little sharper. But, we have some guys that are starting to settle in, but it's taken a long time this year.
Okay, in case you're wondering, Iona tomorrow at Iona, and then come out to Varsity Field, support these guys. They got a big weekend series against UMBC. Sir, pleasure as always. Don't forget, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. I'm Joe Calderone. Thanks for watching Coach's Corner on UAlbanySports.com.